Good afternoon and welcome to Vancouver Island University's International Education Department's English Language Support. And this is going to be a reading and annotating online tutorial. And there's two parts. This is reading and annotating part 1, and the title is Why Are Reading and Annotating Skills Important? So, since we've been working in the Writing Center around the university, we've discovered that there's some problems with students reading. First of all, students complain that they can't remember what they've read. They can't understand what they've read. They can't summarize what they've read. And also, they can't read as fast as they need. But in terms of these problems, this workshop is not really going to focus on improving speed, because at this point it's better to comprehend what you're reading than increase speed. And the reason we find, there's many reasons why reading is important, but definitely there is a link between reading and writing. To understand and remember, you need to annotate. And what do I mean by annotating? Annotating, you engage with the reading until you can express the author's ideas in your own words. The way we do this, of course, is we have to consider our purpose for the assignment we're doing, and we have to write the main ideas from the reading or the article on post-it notes. And the underlining here isn't going to help you that much. So this is what we're going to try and show you today. And we're going to actually demonstrate annotating for you in part 2 of this workshop. This workshop's objectives, there's 4 of them, just to make sure you know why you're here. And number 1 is, why are annotating then summarizing important? What's the most common writing assignment at VIU? What's the difference between paraphrasing and summarizing? And finally, why can't you paraphrase an article into a summary? Now, this is to get your attention that, when you're going through an article trying to do a summary, you're going to have a hard time finding things to paraphrase that will work for you. This is just a reminder. I'm Bruce, as you can see here, and there's Matt down there. Anytime that you have any language difficulties when you see us around, come and have a chat with us. Our main purpose here, again, is remembering that our English language support motto is helping students succeed. So here we're helping students develop and improve their reading skills, because we feel this is one of the most important links to you achieving your goal. Now then, like I was saying before, we were in the Writing Center and other places in the university looking at the assignments students were getting. And it seemed the number 1 assignment involved summarizing. And it might be an annotated bibliography, a literature review, it could even be executive briefs. It comes under many different names. But the problem here is that students have a hard time understanding the big picture for arguments, discussions, responses, or reflections. And this workshop at the end of part 2 will help you start to get this big picture from your assignments. Later on, of course, there's other types of readings and other types of assignments. For example, you might be reading for exams and trying to get information for multiple choice tests. But we're going to deal with that later. Because now, summarizing is the skill that will have the most positive impact on your academic courses. And summarizing begins with reading to annotate main ideas. I've taken some excerpts just to prove my point from 2 instructors here at VIU. This is from their one of their assignment sheets, and you can see here that there's quite clearly a demand for your ability to summarize and putting main ideas into your own words. Also, it's interesting that this particular instructor says that being able to summarize actually gives the impression of academic integrity and credibility. Here's another one. It's again, remember I said annotated bibliography is another way just to say summarizing the article you're reading. And so this was just to let you know that that's why you're here. These are important skills to have, summarizing and annotating. Now then, summarizing and paraphrasing are actually completely different. Paraphrasing is longer than summarizing. Summarizing is much shorter than the original reading text. And finally, you have to try and reduce paragraphs or sections into one or two sentences, which is totally impossible if you're paraphrasing. So we're going to take a look at an article and do an example of summary and paraphrase and why there's a difference. The article was called "Should University Students Use Wikipedia?" And remember, this tutorial can turn into a workshop as long as you remember that there's a pause button on this particular video you've got. So as you're going through, you're obviously going to have to hit the pause button to read the next 3 slides and interact with them, and that will actually improve the effectiveness of this little tutorial. So get ready to hit the pause button as we go through here. So I'm going to show you now. Here's a paragraph from that article, and this is the original text, and I'm just going to go through because you're going to stop and read, but I'm not. And you can see it has 69 words and 6 lines. Here is a paraphrase, and you'll notice right away that it's actually longer. And finally, here's the summary, and you can see it's only 43 words and 3.5 lines, which in some cases is even longer than normal for a summary. So, in a nutshell, paraphrasing for a summary assignment is going to end up in disappointment. Summaries, annotated bibliographies, literature reviews can't be summarized. I mean, they can't be paraphrased. Why? No article or chapter will have sentences or paragraphs that can be paraphrased into a summary. You actually have to understand the main ideas, the big picture. So you have to annotate relative sections of your reading. So quick review. Will these workshops help with reading speed? No. What reading problems will these workshops help students improve? Understanding, remembering, and summarizing. What do the most common writing assignments ask you to do? Of course, summarize. What is the difference between paraphrasing and summarizing? Paraphrasing is longer. Why can't you paraphrase an article into a summary? Well, there are no paragraphs or sentences that can be paraphrased into a summary. So now, hopefully you're interested in how to annotate and summarize, and this is coming in the next workshop, part 2. We'll show you how to annotate and make an outline and write a summary. This should help improve your skill to accomplish the most common writing assignment at VIU. But there are bonuses. The bonuses are as follows. If you understand and remember readings, you're going to get better summary marks, and better memory of readings is going to equal less time for you to study and reread before assessments. But most important, I think personally, is that if you take the time to annotate and engage with your reading, you have a better chance of obtaining the knowledge you need, not just for your future studies, but your future occupations and your jobs. And paraphrasing doesn't help you engage with the reading to get that knowledge. So once again, please watch Reading and Annotating 2. We'll show you how we annotate by discussing what to write and how we decided what to write. But if you still have questions after Reading and Annotating 1, please come and see us in 255-211 in the International Building, or make an appointment to see Matt in the Library Writing Center Tuesdays or Thursdays from 10 to 3, or drop by and see Bruce in the library on the 3rd floor at the English Language Support Desk Mondays, Wednesdays, or Fridays from 12 to 2. And again, thank you very much for listening.